Welcome to another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks powered by Shopline in association with ICBC and MJ BizCon. I'm Mary Jane Gibson, and I am here with Grant Schuster and Jim Pavaldi from Accelerant Manufacturing. Hello.
Hello.
Second year in a row.
Yeah.
We saw you last year, and I was so excited to reconnect because, Jim, I've known you for
Yes.
the better part of my adult life.
Yes. You're the only person I actually send texts to. Like, what did I send you last night? Art Bell's Chupacabra episode. And then,
Yes, it got weird.
yeah. Well, she's doing a lot of long drives.
And I get.
So I was like, I need some AM radio from the 80s on those long.
For my long drives. I appreciated it. And Grant, I met you for the first time last year.
Did. It was awesome.
You two are business partners in Accelerant Manufacturing. I am so impressed to see how you've grown in the last year since we sat down and chatted.
Thank.
So just please get into it. Tell me what is happening with your company. What's happening in your world?
I mean, we are becoming more worldly. Yeah, we invested in a Swiss company. We're bringing them to the States, and we'll be the first company producing cones domestically. We think it's just a great opportunity to help the industry. Rapid innovation, reduce their inventory, but, give them better quality than they've ever gotten before. And
you're using a specific system that you've developed for these cones, correct?
Well, I don't want to say me, but I don't know much of anything. But the Swiss technology, we found three brothers. They do an unbelievable engineering job. It's like a watch. When you see this thing run, which unfortunately you never can, but when you see this thing run, it laser engraves on the thinnest paper we use in the world, right? Rolling paper. And we're just taking a little bit more off to give you some really, really cool designs to, give it the personal touch. If you want to, get cones with your name on it, I'll make them for you.
Mary Jane Cone.
I'm
You
so
tuned in. You know what?
only if you didn't bring me cones with my name on them.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Well, but it is really exciting because so historically cone production has mostly been where? In Spain and so over.
The paper usually comes from Spain or France. Most of the world's paper for roll your own, and it's usually shipped up to Indonesia, places like Bali, India, China, and it's all rolled by hand. Thousands and thousands of people rolling it by hand. Probably licking it, but maybe not. But then they could ship back overseas, and from our perspective is, it's a very long time. It's hard to build your business around a 2, 3, 6 month lead time. We want to on demand make products for people.
The Swiss guys are definitely not licking anything. They are meticulous. And they also have so much style, like a style that I don't have as a brute, like as a trench fighter. They are so clean. No human hands is literally their motto. Everything is automated. The facility, how many? It's 120,000.
We have 120,000 square feet. We think at capacity, we could do probably between 2 and 350 million cones a month.
Domestically. And where is that located?
In the heartland of the country, right in Iowa.
That is wild.
It's now white and red like the Swiss flag on the inside. Even the floor you could eat off with it.
It's really cool. I really can't wait to have you come and really see it in person and take something right off the line and say, wow, I just made a cone just for me.
Just for me. So this sounds like when for instance, I recently wanted to have matches made with my name on them for a party. This is the same thing. I could just order up. Like, what is the smallest order that you would do? Would you do an order for a wedding? Maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, like on very, very low volumes, like a wedding, cost changes. But, we could do orders as low as 90. But I really can make a cone of one.
So anyone who has a product that they want to bring to market that is branded with their stuff all over it, you can put any kind of design on there with these machines. They're
absolutely
artists.
Yeah. And it's so much more than that. I mean, if you want to run a competition B2B for your best dispensaries, you can give away cones with bud tenders' names on it. If you want to do that internally, you could do it. For us, it's really, we want to work with our partners to really change the way people look at pre-roll cones.
So every pre-roll, I mean, if you're rolling up just White Widow and you can sell those pre-rolls with
exactly
your strain name just lasered onto the cone.
Absolutely.
Because I used to use a little marker to write on it when I was going to a party so people would know what they were smoking.
This one had extra stuff in it.
Like a Sharpie on the filter. Sour diesel.
Exactly. If you're doing a limited release, if you want to authenticate your cones, I mean, there are a lot of knockoffs of breeders in this industry. Who has the original, Ochi Kush? I don't know, but if it's in that cone, you know whose it was, right? So
Wow. So what does this next chapter look like for you? You've just opened this massive facility in the Heartland.
we did that. We launched Keef Coating Automation, which I'm really, really excited
Let's hear more about that. What does that look like?
So, putting keef on the outside or diamonds or whatever you want to enhance your product on the outside of a cone has become very popular. Great companies like Jeters or Stizzy, all these guys have really, created a new product line. And it's very labor intensive. So we want to make sure that, there's a way to make it, how to scale it. You can build your products around, you can combine brand new custom cones with a brand new, automation and really have a full pre-roll offering. And so we're super excited. The reception's been, we're so grateful to everybody who's come by and whoever Jim told to come came, which I felt great about. And, we're just excited. I mean, we think the market is really limitless.
What is the Keef Cone procedure? You're not doing that in the Iowa facility, are you?
No, that will be our pre-roll model. So what we do is we call production as a service. We provide equipment, we upgrade that equipment, we service that equipment, but it's in our customer's facility.
But
So
they're sort of leasing it from you.
they're leasing it from us.
It's better than a lease. So
But
there's no underlying asset to wear out. Like a lease, you still have an underlying asset. With us, it's constantly evolving. Like just in the past year, what was it, 7 innovation?
Yeah.
That have made such a difference that our published throughput on the pre-roll machine went from 1,500 to almost 2,200 an hour. Just little things. But when we invent those, they immediately get deployed to your machine. And it will, if we need to pull that machine back and give you one that has all the innovations combined, if it's in our best interest and yours, in year 4, you have a machine that may be 7 months old, where with a lease, you may have a machine that's 5 years old. It's a very, very different animal.
We probably invested $1 million last year in engineering new stuff for customers that they got for free. Because, it increased quality, increased throughput, made it easier for us to run our business, made it easier for them to run their business. And it's, we want to keep doing that every year. With the Keef Coater, which we call the Coat Pro, I'm sure we'll find out something new. I would hate to sell that piece of equipment to somebody to learn something 3 months later and be like, hey, do you want this upgrade for another $100,000? If you don't take it, it doesn't work that well, right? But, we're always innovating, always delivering on it. And we're doing about 10 million cones a month now and on just our current equipment fleet. So
Wild. So this is sort of a two-pronged business model now. You have these two things going on. Are you feeling like you need to hire some people?
always hiring good people.
A marketing girl that specializes in writing. It's the best writer.
Oh, yeah.
We need a full-time podcast.
You need a full-time podcast. You need someone to write your marketing copy. You need someone who knows what's up.
It's Jim right now. You've known him for a few years.
Well, thank gosh that you're an incredibly creative
But
thinker and writer.
I just can't type, and I'm not big with spell check, so sometimes it looks awful live. I'll see it the next morning and be like, I look like I was intoxicated.
But it was the thought that counts. Yeah.
Well, and it's never dull
It's never dull.
with Jim Pavaldi.
It is absolutely never dull. No.
It sounds like you guys, even though this is an incredibly busy and I expect stressful time, it sounds like you guys are still having fun doing this because it seems like it's rolling out in a really wonderful way for you.
Can't not have fun with Jim. So that's one thing. But which I hope I used enough negatives that it was a positive. But look, I think that in chaos is opportunity. We're really always looking to, what can we do to help? I mean, we're not getting into things that aren't in our lane. Like we're not a vape provider. It's not what I do. If you need that, there's plenty of great people around. And there are competitors of ours that do things that we don't do. And if that's your product, go for it. We want to be here to support the people that want to make products that we do service, and we want to service them really, really, really well. So that's fun,
And I just saw that you're offering a trip to Switzerland as a prize.
Oh, man, now it's out of the bag.
Listen, What's up with well, that's a wild prize. Is this because of the three Swiss brothers?
It is because of the three Swiss brothers. Yeah.
We're going to try to time it with the Berlin, possibly.
Oh, that would be
You have
pretty
to
good.
buy that flight yourself.
Yeah. You got to get to ICBC on your own, but
ICBC.
we'll time the flight.
And then
to
you
the-
and then you go to Switzerland and you meet these three Swiss brothers.
Yeah, but we really thought like this is becoming a worldwide industry, a little slower than everybody wants, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, it's growing. And what can we do that's a little different? I think I've been going to the show for 10 years, and no one's ever given me a trip anywhere. At least. Other than in my own head. But, we thought, what we can do that's fun, and what does it mean? We got tied to ourselves. We thought about just going to ICBC, but we don't have a tie to Berlin yet, so we'll get there.
So next year we'll see you going international. It sounds like your plans are to
Yeah, I mean,
expand.
we have a European presence now with Swiss Cones, and next year we are hoping to stand up their facility to have European production. So if you're a European brand and you want European production, great. If you want to be an imported brand from Europe, you could do that too, and vice versa. And we do think that there are cone companies here in the States that want to sell in Europe. It's a little easier if you're not shipping air over the ocean or plane. So any way we can help them.
So how do people find out more about where you are, what you're doing, where to find you in the real world?
In the real world, I've moved to Florida.
Congratulations.
It's a big state. You can come search for me.
Or condolences. I don't know.
You know what? It's warm. That's all I can tell you.
Great.
It's like 38 in the mornings here.
You were in New York, correct?
I was in Chicago.
Oh.
Too cold for me.
Yep.
But our company, you can find products from our providers all over the country. So as long as you buy pre-rolls made from our customers, I'm really happy. But we're in 12 states. acceleratemanufacturing.com, swisscones.com, James M. Pavaldi on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm slow to respond, but I will respond. But house papers, we're really trying to...
You've diversified.
yeah. But, and have fun doing it. Like you said, I mean, why do something if you're not having fun?
Seriously.
The industry's hard enough.
It really is.
And we really are going to get you some Mary Jane papers.
I'm so excited, and I will roll up and smoke them, and thank you very much. Thank you for joining me again. I hope to see you next year, maybe in Spain?
Spain, Switzerland, we can podcast from anywhere.
We can podcast from Switzerland. I like this idea.
Make sure you sign up.
I will. I'm definitely going to sign up. Thank you, Grant and Jim. And so good to see you. And thank you for tuning into another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks powered by Shopline in association with ICBC and MJ BizCon. Please hit like and subscribe to our podcast and follow us at Canatech today.
Beautiful.
You are amazing.